Hello, everyone. I'm so excited today. As you know, is Thursday, Thankful Thursday, thinking about things that you might be grateful for today. And today I'm grateful because I am interviewing Wayne Porter. And as you've seen from my posts and the information I put out there, I met Wayne with my partner Jody when we were in South Dakota driving across the country and happened upon, without knowing, that Wayne Porter Sculpture Park is like one of the top 50 places you should see in the US. We happened upon it happenstance and just were delighted not only with Wayne and his sculptures, but the park and his philosophy and his thoughts. He really wants people to be happy. And this topic, the coexistence, joy, pain, and truth of life, is one that I'm super excited to talk about with Wayne today because his park really inspired a lot of emotion for me. So Wayne Porter sees thousands of visitors every season at Porter Sculpture Park in South Dakota and is often asked about his art background. So he shared his bio with me. He really enjoys everyone who comes to the park and learns so much from each of them. Wayne Porter is a metal sculptor who was born in 1959 in South Dakota. He grew up in St. Lawrence, a small town in central South Dakota, and learned to weld in his father's blacksmith shop. He made his first welded piece of art at age 12. Wayne graduated from Miller High School in 1978 and attended South Dakota State University, graduating with a degree in political science and history in 1982. He has never taken an art class, which is unbelievable to me because he's so talented. He subsequently raised sheep for a few years, working on his art in his free time. His art is large in size, and much of it is comprised of junk or found metal. His largest sculpture is 60 feet tall and weighs more than 25 tons. So all of you who know me, who know that I'm only 5'1", 60 feet tall is huge. But even for anyone, it's huge. And it is made of individual railroad ties welded together. In the fall of 2000, he opened Porter Sculpture Park. It's off of I-90 exit 374 by Montrose, South Dakota. And you can actually see from the freeway several of his sculptures that are amazing. And we'll talk about that more a little bit. So the sculpture park now has more than 50 sculptures created by Wayne, along with the poetry that accompanies many of the pieces. And this is what really moved me and Jody. In the off season, Wayne works on making more sculptures in the same blacksmith shop where he learned to weld. His pieces are majestic, whimsical, thought-provoking, and readily display the influence of the South Dakota prairies that he grew up on, and also reflect, truly, his quick wit, humor, and diverse interests. Wayne lives with his Australian shepherd dog, Bambino. Welcome, Wayne. So happy you're here. And I wanted to, I don't know if I'm going to be able to share with people. I'll share with people the website later, but what I would love to do is really kind of ask you, even just tell me about what's behind you. Like, this is one of your poems. Tell me more about this.
I can't really paint, but I had this idea in my head that wouldn't leave, and it wasn't going to let me alone, so I fought with it. I trapped it into a board. And because I know I can't paint, I know a lot of artists here, I signed it with my brother's name, Ron Porter. I'm Wayne Porter. It's on the internet, but I don't get the blame from it.
Right. I love that.
This is Boltzmann's law of entropy. It's a study of randomness. It explains why things get more chaotic with time. And more things go wrong than go right. And this is the human family that we're in. We're classified as apes. We are tropical African apes. And and then I have a quote from early American preacher, sinners in the hands of an angry God. And then I violate the second commandment. I got things in the way. Every time it says, thou shalt not make graven images. Well, that's kind of my job. I'm not planning on reforming. And of course, this is this is about life. And it's the different versions of life. This is, I'm looking for King Kong. I cannot find him on 41st Street. He haunts my dreams. He has come to save us. save it from the universe, which tosses it around with indifference. I think you saw him once in a dive bar, playing pool and smoking a cigarette. I think it exists, said the king. For the moment, he said, without looking up, and he sunk the 5-ball into the left corner pocket. I tried to give him a hug. He picked me up by the collar and tossed me across the pool hall. He walked over to me, handed me a cigarette, and said, for the moment. I watched it burn for a moment. As he walked away, he said, thou shalt not make graven images. I'm looking for King Kong. Unlike the universe, when he tosses you around, he cares.
Wow. So, as I shared with you, one of the things that really struck me, Wayne, was I've been doing this podcast, Coexistence, Joy, Pain, and Truth, for over a year. And so I was walking through your sculpture park and I literally my partner and I would stop and read every single board. And while we were there, there were families that came through and other people that came through, and they would kind of see the sculpture and walk on, see the sculpture and walk on, but didn't stop to see, as you guys can see, he's showing us the sculpture park right now. Those white boards are poetry, words that are deep and provocative, and as you heard in the bio, thought-provoking. And we stopped and read every single one. As we got to the end of the park, there was this one called Coexistence, Joy and Pain. And I was like, oh my God, Wayne, I need to have you on my podcast. I love your work. I love your words. And Wayne was so gracious in saying yes. So what's this one you're coming up to right here, Wayne?
Oh, this is the vultures. I like this one. People stand under it and have an anvil dropped on their heads.
That's frightening.
Another one bongs people with a mallet.
And so what's the message that you're conveying here?
Oh, have fun. These are like the old cartoons, and we get head with anvils and mallets, and we just got to take it, smile, and have fun, if at all possible. When things
Right.
go and you're still rolling, hold the bump on your head and smile.
I love that. I love that. As someone who suffers from chronic pain, I can totally relate to that. I just kind of hold myself. I kind of go, it's okay. And I smile. Absolutely. There's one that Jody and I also, oh yeah, this one. Go ahead. Tell us about this one.
This one, I used to have a goldfish bowl, and that fish kept on jumping. I had one that kept on jumping. I don't know if you can see this goldfish bowl. It's huge.
Yeah, it's huge.
And so I thought, what's with that goldfish that I keep having that keeps on trying to get out? So I wrote a poem about him. Said the one to the other, let us find a way out, explore. Said the other, we're a goldfish, we live in a bowl. Yes, said the one, but there must be a crack, a door, a soul. I never found the one or his soul, but he swam far.
Oh man, I love that. I love that. You know what? I even love it better when you read your own work. Like I could read your work when I was there, but when you have your intonation and your tone and in some of them there's some sarcasm, I imagine, and so it's just like coming out from your voice is so awesome.
Yeah, my sister painted everything here, and she picked better colors than I had. Mine were all fake.
So you did the metal work, and then she came in and repainted some of them?
This guy, I think he ran out of chocolate. I don't know if you can see him.
Wait, say that again. There's a little wind. Say that again.
I think this guy ran out of chocolate.
Chocolate. And then this is the...
Yeah, this is the man with an apple.
Right.
Steinbeck said that you can be proud of anything if that's all you have. And apple, maybe an idea, maybe family. Don't know. We all have that thing that we hold on to. Of course, this is one of the first large pieces I did.
I love your dragon.
Yeah. And then of course, I tried to figure out life, the universe. Just bizarre that we're here. We're made a part of It came from an exploding star, 3 exploding stars actually. The iron in your blood and the calcium in your bones came from an exploding star. And so here we go on this one. Our universe is expanding. We have no name for our universe. We call our galaxy the Milky Way. There are hundreds of billions of stars in our galaxy. There are hundreds of billions of galaxies. Our sun that we have named Sol, it is made of dust of other stars which exploded long ago. We are made of the same dust. We have named the sun Sol. This is on this rock in which we live. We have named Earth. It is made of the same dust. Our moon, we have named Luna. It is made of the same dust. To the surface of the moon, we have given such name as the ocean of storms and the lake of dreams. We sail night seas under moonbeams. The primary means which we use to explore our universe are the words that we form with our lips. In this universe with no name, in this galaxy we call the Milky Way, in the solar system of the star we call our sun, on this rock which we call Earth, our creatures made of stardust we call us. Our universe is ending. We have no name for our universe.
Mm. And that was inspired because of the creation and where we came from.
We have to trying to figure everything out. It's just bizarre. It exists. The part of dinosaurs and sea monsters are in us. They all come together, and they came from exploding stars.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. You know, one of the ones that I liked, which you may be getting to it, is the women that you have dancing. They have have you passed the fly swatter, the fly with the swatter yet?
He's right here. Yeah, he's right here. Can you see him?
Yes, yes. Oh, I love that one. Can you tell everybody about that one?
One I used to call man with a gun. This is silly for a man to kill another man. It is for a wasp to carry a fly swatter.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. So as you're creating your art, did you ever feel, what were the pains? What were the pains of living this existence and creating art and working with metal? I mean, what are some things that, and if you don't want to share, you don't have to, but what are some things that have been really challenging about this life journey for you?
Oh, heck, this whole art thing is like cocaine. I've never done drugs in my life. It's worse than chocolate or tea, you know?
Yeah.
Uh,
It's like for some people, tattoos, right? They get one and they want another, so their whole body ends up being covered with tattoos. Is that where you are with your art?
yeah, it needs to be done. I'm not getting enough of it. I need more art in my veins. And I can't, you know? I'd OD on art if I possibly could. But okay, since you asked that one, feeding the beast.
Yes, I want to read that one. Yeah, go ahead, read it to us.
I heard the voice of the beast. Serve me, he said. I will not serve you, I said. Soon he spoke again. Serve me, said the beast. What will you give me? I asked. Hunger, rags, humiliation, said the beast. I will not serve you, I said. His shadow followed me. I would glimpse him from the corner of my eye. He haunted me. Hammer for me a trinket, and I will leave you, said the beast. I hammered for him a trinket and tossed it at his feet. Leave me, I said. Just one more and I will leave you. Perhaps a poem, said the beast. That was long ago. I now serve at the feet of the beast. I feed the beast and I beg for his crumbs.
Mm. Wow. And the beast is represented how on your land?
Beast is a stupid art thing that drives some of us, and we would eat bark off trees to do it. Really?
I believe you. Yeah, you have, so there are over 50 pieces of art there. So, okay, so that's one of the pains, that it's like cocaine, it's like a drug. And yet, obviously, you keep doing it, so there's some joy. And I know that from the very beginning, you said, I just love making people happy.
Yeah, and now we're at the wise man. I don't know.
Oh, okay.
I don't know how well you can see him. Can you see him?
Yes, yes, absolutely.
Like
Yes, everybody, if people can't see, let me just describe. There's the head. He's got one arm out, one leg. He's got is that a crutch that he's holding?
Right. He's
Yeah.
pretty
Okay.
like the three wise monkeys. He hears no evil, sees no evil, and feels no. In order to be wise, first you have to be mangled. You become wise through pain.
That's right.
And he's got the details are flies sucking open wounds. You got to bring
Yep.
your demons with you because it's going to follow you anyway.
Exactly. That's interesting. I didn't remember what you wrote about it, but I just literally wrote a song called My Demons.
Oh, you're a songwriter. Very
I
good.
am. Yeah. I know. I didn't get to show you. We had our guitar. Our car was so packed to the gills. Didn't get to bring out my guitar. But yeah. So this most recent song I wrote was called My Demons, and it's all about that. Like you have to. We don't. We the wiser we get is because we bring them with us, right? We open our life to receive the good and the bad. I love the flowers. That's fun. Those are tulips, right?
I don't know what they are.
Oh.
Just flowers, tulips of thorn, thorny tulips. Sure.
Oh, yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
I love that you could even make thorns out of metal. Well, you can make anything out of metal.
Oh, look at railroad spikes.
Oh. Oh, here we come to the big, huge
No.
horse. Oh, no.
Oh, we're doing the dancing.
Oh, yes, the dancing women. That's right. And the saxophone playing. What kind of animal was that again?
Oh, I used to have a goat.
A goat. Okay. Yeah, that is just fabulous.
Yeah.
And the detail of like their hair and everything just blew us away.
And the point on this thing, I was giving a tour to a pretty art professor friend of mine, and then we had to run back to the to take care of tourists. So I wrote a poem, Her Pretty Pink Shoe. I know nothing about it. I don't know the colors. You know, I think I know the word fuchsia, but I don't know what color it is, right? And
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
oh, it's her colors. So I wrote this poem, Her Pretty Pink Shoes. While walking, she said, "Look, my pretty pink shoes." I wanted to say, I like pink, but I knew that the color was not pink. I, uneducated in art, did not know the color. So I said, they are pretty new shoes. We ran through the milkweed. Her pretty new shoes moved her form so elegantly. At her car, I watched the pretty woman, pretty pink shoes drive away. Pretty new shoes was supposed to be, not pretty pink shoes. Yeah.
Yeah. That's great. That's wonderful. Yeah, and for people who don't know about metalwork, I mean, long did it take you to do each strand of hair? I mean, that the one woman that has the very long hair, like each strand is a
Oh,
piece of metal,
I have no.
right?
It didn't take that long. I just
Really? Wow,
walked
look at that.
and just. I should have been a hairdresser.
You
I
should have been a hairdresser.
I give good perms.
And so, have you ever had anyone come to the park that was, I mean, usually when people come to your park, they know that you're there and they're coming with, I mean, I couldn't believe it. You've been recognized by Time Magazine, Slate, Fox News, Boston Globe, Yahoo, International Business Times, the Huffington Post. And we had no idea that you were there. So I was like, everybody has to know you're there. But has anybody ever come to you kind of like, I don't know, feeling indifferent and then their whole mood changes by the time they leave?
Oh yes. That's a frequent thing. I get a lot of people who've never looked at art before. Now I get a lot of people who think they're going to go through kitsch, but I'm okay with it all.
Yeah.
Here's one. You know, this one. I'm going to read this. Mirror image. The history of the biography of the human. The history of biography of the human. History is the biography of the human mind. There we go. History. I can't read my writing.
That's okay.
History is the biography of the human mind. People like wild boars more alike than they are different, yet they attack each other with wild boars is in the genes. Uh, um, the point being here, if things are repeated over history, it's in us. Like squirrels 100 years ago, 1,000 years ago, are very much like squirrels today. And things keep on repeating in squirrel behavior. And with
Mhm.
boars, they attack each other. They do the same thing wild boars did 10, 10,000 years ago. And so it's kind of scary when we got nuclear bombs,
Right.
like wild boars.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a very good point.
I don't know if you can see my wild boars because I don't.
Yes, we can see them. Yeah.
And the red hammer, the red building, they break a few hammers.
Yes, that is so true.
The tour out here, and it was on a Sunday. It was 110 degrees, and my brother could read blueprints. He brought a friend to work wood, and Dad and I just worked steel. But he figured we could drive hammers. Well, every time I didn't know that I don't use claw hammers. I'd fire nail. I'd pull back. And I'd break the hammer handle. So I'd grab somebody else's hammer. My brother looked. There was one hammer left, and he fired me.
He's like, you are not breaking another hammer.
A tourist. He says, that's got to be the world's largest claw hammer. I said, no, it's a common thing. There'd be bigger ones everywhere. He said, no, check it. And I said, no, it can't be. So when he left, it said, world's largest claw hammer, 26 feet. This is 28. This is the world.
Wow.
Oh, that is a big horse.
Oh, wow. Yay.
Yeah.
That's one of the ones we could see from the freeway. We're like, what is going on over there?
Off here, but I don't want to start a fire. So I was going to run out in the winter with my pickup. I blew my pickup engine. I'll just throw a new engine. Turns out now there's a pickup shortage. There's a parts shortage. So I got to wait for, I can find a pickup engine. I never saw, I cannot draw a horse. I cannot draw a horse, but I can make one out of steel. And
yeah.
So big. I was building the frame on its side, but it was so big I couldn't see it. So I'd walk 2 blocks away, give Cinnamon the horse a carrot, memorize the line on Cinnamon, then blow it up on my head, go back, cut it, bend it, and put it on the frame that I thought might look like a horse if I could see what I was doing. So I was done.
Wow.
I to see if the neck was right. It has to be right. And I couldn't tell. It was so big. Couldn't tell if the legs were right. So I was floating bullets so the crane picked it up. And it is a horse.
Wow.
They would have called me on.
I mean, it's powerfully big. I mean, if people were to, I'll try to show some pictures later, but it was really like you're looking up going, does this thing end? I mean, that took you said 8 seasons or 10 seasons?
10 winters.
10 winters.
I'm working big, so I go and build in the winter, and it gets really cold out here.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so,
wow.
So I'm going to try to get more discipline and get that thing done. Okay, I'm a bit dystopian, but this one is called Purple Rider. I have it's a. I'm really making fun of my brother, but I wrote a poem. This is my brother. He told me we were herding. I'm a vegetarian now, by the way. We were herding sheep, and brother wanted to ride the horse, and I said, "No, Ron." He said, I could ride better than you, and I could rope better than you. I should be on the horse. I said, you know what a sick sheep looks like? You're on the foot. Just rope it when I run it by you. So when I around again with my binoculars, my brother had roped the guard donkey, the guard sheep from coyotes and sheep. He was dragging him and pulling him and dragging him, trampling him. And so I went back and I saved my worthless brother's life. And I told him that, I'm going to make a monument to the fact the only equine that he should break is a sick horse.
And now I know that when you say your worthless brother, I know that you all love each other very much.
Yeah, tell him that.
Don't tell him that.
Can't do anything without Ron. We argue which one's the moron. So I could sculpt him, and I could call him the moron for all eternity.
Yeah,
he's okay. He's okay with it because I made him taller.
Oh, you did you? Oh, on the statue?
Yeah.
He said, one of the...
Continue.
Sorry, yeah, one of the things I think you walked by it was the poem that so all of the poems in the park except for one belong to you, but the one that there was one that your mother wrote, and it was because she was a nurse, right?
Right,
And
right.
it was very powerful for me because here she was many years ago, a nurse talking about illness and disease, and it was so in alignment with like what's been going on with the pandemic, even, you know, the current pandemic. And so I was just struck by her wisdom and her thought and her love, and that you know, you chose to have that poem in there kind of as a, you know, representative of where you got your own. I mean, you didn't say it this way, but you know, you clearly got your writing from family blood.
Okay. Just made me run an eighth of a mile.
I made you, huh? I forced
I,
you.
I tried to do this one. This is the only poem that I know that my mother wrote. It's called Pulse. It was written by her mom uh, when she was a young nurse before we were even born. Okay, one more, two more breaths.
Take a deep breath. Yeah, take a few deep breaths. We don't I don't need anybody dying on my podcast.
First, come on, the pain end of it, right?
Yeah, right. Okay, no, Wayne. No, I have limits. I have boundaries.
I could try to survive till at least after the podcast.
Okay, all right, thank you. All right, let me be quiet so you can read.
As I walk the halls tonight, help me, Lord, to do what is right. I hear the sound of the bathroom door, the slow shuffle of feet on the hospital floor, the groans, the cough, the sneeze, the sound, the asthmatic wheeze, the restless turning of a sleepless one, the piercing cry of the very young, the soft click of a patient's bell, the mournful sound of the ambulance wail. I see the wisdom of the age possessed, the hidden fears that the mind can stress, the heavenly joy on a mother's face. I see the plight of an exiled race, a rosary passed within a hand. They dream of yet another land. Their souls encased in bodies frail, escape at the last their prison cell. I feel the pulse on my own fingertips, the strong, the weak, and the ones that skip. These things I see and feel and hear. I know, dear Lord, that thou art near, to bless, to guide, to love each one, to help them all till life is done. Written.
Beautiful.
All right. Now here's the thing. My mother and my sister were in the room when my mother was dying. My sister can't read any of these poems. She cries. And tourists going to hear her cry because they've had things happen to them. I wrote this poem when my mother was dying. The first poem, one I just read, was called Pulse One by my mother, Mary Ellen Rudd. This one's written by me. It's called Pulse Two, The Room.
Mm.
In this room, we are watching our mother die. In this room of white, in this room of tears, my sister checks her pulse in this room of white. Her eyes follow us when we move in this room. She hears us when we speak, so we speak in this room of tears. And we play back the years to fill the hours. We play back the years in this room of white. The smell of antiseptic and bleach stings my nostrils in this room. The machine draws a breath and releases a breath, draws a breath and releases a breath through the tubes in this room. The machine thump, 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 thumps like a heart, thump, 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 thumps through the tubes in this room of white. 2 weeks in the room, last 2 weeks of her life, two weeks forever in this room. I feel my pulse.
Mm. That's very powerful. So there you know, here we are talking about
But
the
we're all
coexistence of, you know, joy and pain. And I lost my mom 5.5 years ago, and there's so many beautiful memories and there's a lot of pain, right?
right, right.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. That's what it is, being human.
Hmm.
Being human.
Yep, being human. Yeah. What do you feel is something you received as a gift from your mom?
Oh, we had a good upbringing. We learned we learned to try to moderate ourselves. You know,
Mm.
my mother looked after people. You know, um, somebody was dying, she would volunteer time and they were alone, nobody looked after him. She would go over and take care of them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. So you had a really strong sense of loyalty and compassion, sounds like.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Beautiful. Would you like to share? We're coming to a. Oh, I was just going to say we're coming to a head, and look what you showed me.
Oh,
There it is, the head.
there it go in.
Oh yes, sure, of course.
Anyway, warriors and antique graves defiled by sheep as sheep graves. Silly sheep. They don't know whom graves they stand. The warriors just sleep, sleep, sleep. The warriors just sleep. This whole thing, you don't want to take life too serious. You're not going to be here long. Have fun. It's a blink of an eye. You know, if you spend yourself crying, you're wasting your life. And you really have to
Absolutely.
have friends and family. There's studies on happiness, and yes, there are genetic qualities. Some people have a certain level of happiness, but you can expand that the best you can. Oh, what is that guy doing? Oh my goodness! Creature of the Black Lagoon, Indiana Jones met here. Oh, the spiders. That's a spider eating a bat. Ah, a cobra. I gotta get out of here. I gotta get out of
All right, let's do one final one. Will you take us to the poster with the coexistence writing?
here. Okay.
We'll end on the coexistence. Don't run though. You take your time. It's all good. We're enjoying the blue sky around you.
Okay. For flowers, and remember, look at the flowers. You know, you
Yes.
gotta look at the flowers.
Yes.
This,
I actually was walking somewhere yesterday where I got to see some beautiful flowers I had never seen before. And because Jody wasn't with me, I had to take a picture so I could show it to her today.
yeah.
Oh, this one was beautiful. Oh, see, there's so many. People have to go. So anybody watching, you have to go to Porter Sculpture Park in South Dakota. You really do. You really have to go. So don't show them everything because we want to make sure. Yeah, that one was fun too. We want to make sure that they have something to go see. Although even if you see it once, you'll want to see it twice because it's not just about what the art is, everyone. It's about what Wayne writes about. And I really love this, notion that, yeah, we don't want to sit in victimhood. We want to be able to enjoy our life and take our life as it comes to us. And in order to be in the joy, we have to be willing to be in the pain. And he's got amazing, amazing sculptures and poetry. I mean, the poetry is beautiful.
And this won't take long. This is how you have fun.
That's right.
This is ordinary man. I gotta do this one anyway. I'm an
Okay. Yes, you have to do that one.
Move about in ordinary ways. The sound of the surf, the smile of a child, flowers growing wild, other days worth. Give me the bird as it sings, the wind in the rye, the stars in the sky. Give me ordinary things. I'm an ordinary man. I live ordinary days. It's ordinary things that I've learned to praise.
Mm.
Okay,
Yep.
there.
That's really important too. People think that life's supposed to be super exciting and extraordinary, and actually there's so much beauty and love in the ordinary, right?
Yeah, it's
There it
not
is.
that thing.
Yeah.
Looking at the stars at night. I look at the stars at night where the coyotes are howling. I love that. This is
Yeah.
pain and joy. Is how they can coexist. But neither stays forever. Butterflies fly away. Thorns are pulled.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Fabulous. Wayne, you are a talented, intelligent, philosophical, awesome human. And I'm so grateful that I got to meet you in person and that you accepted my invitation to be here. And there it is, everybody. There's the pain and the joy, right?
Yeah.
Right there. Yeah. Lots of words of wisdom. Would you like to give any last moment tip or thought to everyone? Or I know I will be letting everyone know how to find you. They can go to portersculpturepark.com, but I strongly urge you all to go in person, not only to see the incredible artwork, to enjoy the vibrant colors, to really engulf yourself in Wayne's words of poetry, but to meet Wayne, because Wayne is fun.
What I want to come for is the world's largest ball of invisible twine. I have the world's largest ball of invisible twine. It's right there. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Wayne. It was such a pleasure to see you again. And we hope to make it back to South Dakota at some point. But until then, we'll just be in touch by email. And yeah, thank you again for taking the time, and the best of luck to you. And I hope to be able to hear from you when your next project is announced.
Okay. We'll keep
All right. Sounds good. Take care.
Bye-bye.
All right. Bye, Wayne.